Hey, what's up? I'm bored and losing my mind, so I figured I'd start recording this with the little bit of notes that I've saved so far, which isn't a whole lot. Um, but I was thinking maybe it'll get me going into a ramble-ish type of thing. Tends to happen with me, tends to. Anyways, so um, I have probably an infinite amount, almost nearly, of complaints about World of Warcraft, the current version of the game. And I've had these same complaints for many years. So they're not new related to like the newest expansion or anything like that. It's kind of ever since the game went full-blown super casual, which actually started at the end of TBC, second expansion. It started then. It was just a little light, but it started then at the end, and when they started doing heroic badges for raid gear, something like that, kind of a thing. Started small, but that was when it began. Being able to acquire like raid gear outside of raids began at the end of TBC. It was better then than it is now. But whatever. So what I wanted to talk about was quality of life changes that have happened over the years, because that is definitely something I did notice and enjoy, as far as that went. Like features in the game, great stuff happened. Like a lot. I mean, the looking for group tool is one of the coolest things that it ever received. What's happened to groups is not okay, to me anyways. I meant to talk about that in a recent video. But the tool to group is great. Huge improvement over using like trade chat and general chat and shouting in the zone to get groups from the original game. That was cool. Look, it was a different time, man. Definitely more social though. Like you had to chat with people. People don't chat anymore, man. Kind of, right? It's find a guild that you like and whatever. But it was just different then. It was back then. Finding a guild wasn't like checking forums and seeing what they're recruiting, this and that. It was just meeting people, and that's what it was. Just meeting people. You're meeting people like out in the open world. You meet them in dungeons, you know, all that kind of stuff. That was how you it was how you met people. But anyways, yeah, no, now it's different. Now you can still do that. You can still meet, but it is not the same at all. It's nothing close to the same. But yeah, anyways. I don't remember why I was even saying that. That's funny. But oh yeah, the looking for group tool stuff. Very cool stuff. I dig it a lot. There's a huge, really good update that they've done. Let me see. Uh, Underwater breathing and pool mechanic. This one I forgot about. This was in the current expansion. I didn't notice it in previous ones. They've done stuff underwater, like quality of life updates over the years as well. But I like the pull mechanic that they have in the newest expansion. There's like you're underwater, and then not only, I think they have a swim speed, maybe even, I don't even know. I didn't even notice that part. That's funny. I assume that there is a swim speed boost, because they've had that for a while too. I think this started in Cataclysm, but I don't remember for sure. Anyways, I like the pull mechanic. You can in certain areas, when you're underwater, you can click like a little orb and it like grapples you towards it, so you go even faster, which is just cool, and it's a little fun like little thing. I always liked underwater stuff in the game. Like underwater stuff is always cool because it's different, right? I can't remember what expansion they tried to focus on that one. There was an expansion where they had like a lot of underwater content. I think that one might have been Draenor, but it was like half the expansion, right? Like it wasn't all of it, but so I've never really had a full experience of that, the underwater stuff, because I came back when it was already past content, and they by that time, at this point too, especially the way the game is now, man, everything is a speed up mechanic. Like everything doesn't matter. Just by default, the game is catching you up with 20 years of content, right? Like So you don't play at all the same. I've also mentioned that in a recent video as well. Talked about how the what was that video? I did talk about like how the content was. Anyways, like, oh yeah, what it's like to for a new player to play this game. So anyways, I like the new underwater breathing like pull grapple mechanic. That's kind of cool. It's a fun little thing. I noticed a few more speed boosts here and there, like in especially in Dragon Flight. I realized I kept calling it Dragon Blight. I don't know, for some reason I always think Dragon Blight, but it's Dragon Flight. Sorry. Anyways, there's more speed boost stuff in the game. It kind of made me go, you know, I want even more. I want even more speed boosts. They're pretty cool. But man, it's just more all about zoom, 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 speed, speed, speed. It is fun though. Like when you go through the game, like just the world when you're running really fast or flying really fast, it's just fun. Like it's fun to go at high speeds, right? Like, you know, it's just fun to go at high speeds, man. So they have like a little bit more, like there's a couple quests here and there that will give you like a speed boost for running around. And it's a really good speed boost. Just walking like on feet, bare feet. Because something I talked about before too. We used to run across the entire world, like no flight paths, just. Anyways, so yeah, so they have some new quests and new speed boost things. I like, and even in the raids now too. I noticed like speed boost stuff to run you through the raid. It's just because the dungeons are so big, and I think it happens after you beat a boss. Like after you beat a boss, the buff activates. So if you wipe or have to run back, you have a speed boost to get catch up a little. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's pretty neat. The tall grass. I noticed there's a lot more tall grass in the game. That was something I forgot. I noticed it's more common in Dragonflight. Like it's just more. There's just more of it, and I really like it. Like it's even taller than this and really thick. I had to take a screenshot with one of them because it was just like I don't remember what damn zone it was, but it was just grass. My character is a what is it, Nightborn night elf character, and so they're kind of tall. They're not like super tall, but they're tall characters. They're not little tiny ones, and the grass is like covering my character, and it's just thick. And I like when I have the camera at this angle, you can see like the top of your head, and just plants just covering the screen, and I was like, whoa, that's not normal in this game. So when I came across that, I was like, oh wow, dude, that's pretty epic. That was a new thing. I took a screenshot, of course. Check. I don't think I have it right now. Forgot. Like as soon as I upload my screenshots to my Discord, I just I delete them from my computer. I take so many, man. Like it's like I lost, you know, hundreds of thousands of screenshots on Facebook. I didn't back that up. I was like, oh, actually, no, I did. Oh man, that file was huge. I forgot. I haven't bothered with the backup though. I forgot about that. I'll never bother with that. I'm pretty sure I'll just end up deleting it if I still even have it. Anyways, why was I say that? I take so many screenshots, but oh yeah. So I was scrolling through my Discord real quick to see if I could find that tall grass one. It's really pretty though. It's really cool, and it stuck out to me because it's just not a normal thing having the grass like literally cover your character as you're walking through the world. Like it's really cool, man. I was like, all right, I like this, dude. I'm like, I want to come back to the zone more, but I haven't. All right, it's too many. I've uploaded like hundreds of screenshots over the past like couple weeks and whatever. All right, so anyways, yeah, so that's that. These are, I'm just talking about like little things. These are little notes that I was writing down as I was like, I'll talk about the quality of life changes. I don't know, man. There's too many. Like I couldn't even. That's why I started taking notes. I was like, if I'm reminded of things while I'm playing this game right now as I'm playing it, like I'll write it down and whatever. But I'm pretty sure there's gonna be so much I won't remember because it's so much. This game has changed drastically many times throughout the years. Definitely got way too casual. Like my gosh, this game started casual, man. Yikes. Anyways, Uh, like in comparison to other MMOs, which there weren't many. I can't even remember what there was besides EverQuest. I know there were other games, but EverQuest was like the main one back then. Um, the world quests, and these again to me these are quality of life features. Is any kind of like gameplay elements that are upgraded, and there it depends, right? Like quality of life would I guess typically be what like interface updates and stuff. They man, these guys are so far behind the add-ons. It's so funny, dude. It took them like 10 years to add like it. It's the most basic thing that add-ons were adding. I can't remember what it was at the time, but it literally took them over 10 years to add stuff. It's just like, what? Anyways, so I don't know, what would this, I guess gameplay features and quality of life changes and gameplay features. For world quests, I like the new digging ones. There's a few new ones that I hadn't seen before, as like little side missions to do. It might have been in Shadowlands. I did not complete Shadowlands. Played quite a bit of Shadowlands. Like I thought it was cool. I liked it. I was like, "Ooh, this is neat." But I was still sick of the game. I mean, even now, like I'm really, I'm, I would say about all the playtime I've been on here in the past week or so is half of it's been idle. Like around half of it's been idle. So if I've been on the game for like 10 to 15 hours, I've probably been idle for like 8 hours. What, you know, I'm just saying, man, or like just chilling, even if like yeah, just sitting here, man. Just anyways, digging, there's these new digging quests that are part of the world quest. I like those. They're cute and fun. I like that. They're cool. I remember, actually, it just remind me, I really like the ones they added in oh, what freaking expansion was it? They added Kirin Tor World Quest. I think it was Legion. They had these like little puzzles, and they're still in the game now too. I came across a couple in Dragonflight, and you have to like move these little orbs around there, ley line little puzzle thing. They're cool. They're neat little visual games. I like those. It took me a little bit to get used to how they worked. Not used to doing those types of puzzles. Like I've seen similar things, but I hadn't seen it like that. And so it took a little. Like I remember the first few times I did that one that I'm thinking of, the ley line puzzle. I got lucky like a few times just clicking on stuff, just randomly clicking things, because like I would completed it and I had no idea what I did. I was trying to figure it out. I was just clicking on stuff so I could figure it out, and next thing I know, the puzzle completed itself, and I'm like, I was just randomly clicking. So it took me a little while to really figure it out. And sometimes you can kind of like, once you get used to those and you've done them a bunch. That happened to me when I was playing. I think it was Legion. Might have been TBC, but I think it was Legion. But I was doing them a bunch because I really liked them. So every time I spotted them on the map, I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go do that first." It was always the first world quest I pick. There was a couple, well, one or two others, maybe two. Anyways, once you get used to it, it's like it's easy to spot. Like just before you even start clicking on stuff, you're like, "Oh, I know where that's gonna go." It's cool. Like it's neat. Anyways, so the digging one is neat. I like that. Oh, the dragonflight, the dragon riding racing is super cool. Love that. Oh man, that's cool. I like the racing one. I don't like the ones where are seemingly impossible to get through the entire race, like at all for me. And I have almost max freaking talents on my oh, I can't see it on this character. Not yet anyways. I have almost all the talents filled except for the 2 side rows, and I think I only have one more left on one of them. Anyways, there's regular races, right? There's regular ones. Those are super easy. They're fun and they're really cool. I like them a lot. And then there's like challenge ones, and they're meant to be harder, right? But I'm like, if I can't even get through half the race, I can't even get through. I literally can't get through half the race. And I was like, I tried one a couple times. And I was like, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Like, what the hell? So I assumed my talents were, I didn't have enough. But then I looked and I was like, oh, no, I can't. There's nothing here that I don't have in my talents for the dragon riding. Seemed like it would really help that much. I'll continue, of course, trying them more and stuff. It's just like first impression, not a fan of that. I think it's, I mean, really can't even complete the race. Like, what? It's weird. It's just weird. But I do like the racing though. The race. I have not played multiplayer yet. Apparently they have multiplayer for the Dragonflight, Dragon Riding Racing, um, and I haven't been able to play it. I came across it twice so far, and each time I was gonna queue for it, I was in the mood to keep going though. I wasn't in the mood to stop and wait and see if it took. I didn't know how long it was gonna take. It'd take 20 minutes, an hour. I have no idea how long that queue's gonna take. And apparently, you have to stay near the character, unlike the dungeon queues, which I imagine they might fix that if they keep the races in the game. They might add like a queue thing, like a better queue thing for it, right? Because you have to stay near the NPC, and I don't know how close it. Doesn't say I have to stay like right next to it, but it says stay in the area or whatever. Anyways, so I haven't tried multiplayer racing yet. I'm kind of excited to try that. Like that's because I really like the regular races are basically like time trials, but they're cool. Like they're little racetrack type things. Not a track, but it's a track. It's, you know, whatever. It's cool. Those are cool. I like the racing. And then another world quest, a new one, is the climbing one. I really like the climbing quest, where you are doing like the wall rock climbing. It's cool. It's fun. It's super gimmick, but it's a fun gimmick. Like I like it. I like that one. It's it's also, it can be really annoying, but it's cool. Like it's a fun one. And that's it. I have a few notes for what I want in the game, which I'll also get into. But yeah, I had started these notes, just cause, like, I mean, I haven't been playing the game, I haven't want to talk about it. I'm mostly distraction, right? Um, but oh man, what really sucks. Look, man, I want to talk about it because I have a love for this game, but I was thinking about it too, and I can't even mention it in my previous video. I was like, I don't even want to recommend this game, and I kind of find it hard to. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird, man, because there's so much to love about it. But it's almost, it's so hard for me to imagine this being enjoyable for a new player. I think it can be. I think it can be, but it's just gotta be weird, man, because you can't get the full story like in a normal leveling. It's impossible. They've made it impossible. You can't. It used to take you level 1 to level cap to experience the whole world, you know, right? Like for example, the Burning Crusade, when that came out, there was what, 4 or 5 new zones. I don't even, let me see. There's 4 or 5 new zones. Was it Outland? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. Wow, 7? Jeez, man. All right, 7 zones, right? It's okay. All right. It's funny. Oh, that's great. That's great. And I know them all. I'm very familiar with each of these zones. I just never really thought about the number, and that's man, that's a lot. Anyways, so for this expansion, it was what, level 60 to 70, I think, when it first came out. I believe that was what it was, at the time. And you started here in Hellfire Peninsula. You started here in this zone. And if I remember correctly, you would have all of these completed by the time you're 70. Maybe it'd be one off. It might be 2, maybe 5 out of 7, right? I'm just being generous, right? Because you would be complete with everything by the time you're level cap. For like, you wouldn't, like, right now you would get through half the zone and over out level it or whatever, right? Not in the current. I just mean, like, that's what happened. The game has changed so much over the time. There was a period like that too, like when they first tried balancing zones. Yeah, no, they've done a lot of stuff over the years. It has been cool, but it's just gotten too simple though. Like, I mean, a lot of the quality of life features and a lot of gameplay features got really good and cool, but the mindlessness dumbing down of everything hurts so much. But yeah, no, but basically you like right now, if you were to go play this game, you basically have to pick one expansion if you want. It's best to pick one expansion to play, and then you'll pretty much finish the campaign, the story of that expansion by the time you hit level 60. I think you can go at 58 to the current expansion. But so level 1 to 58 to 60, whatever, 58 or 60, you can do one expansion. Because that's how fast you level. That's just how fast you level. Now, what you could do, if you want to go slow, don't do any quests at all and just go farm mobs. Have fun. Right. Good luck. No, I'm kidding. But that would be the only way to slow down your leveling pace, right? It's pretty crazy. Crazy. It's really, I mean, it's the game is perfect for alts, right? Like it's nearly perfect for alts, especially now. Just as far as getting through the game and catching up, right? But I'd rather level slowly. I really would. I really would. And I don't mean classic. I don't mean vanilla level. I mean, I like some of the pacing updates have been much better. Oh, that reminds me. Part of what happened was they added so many quests to the game that it ended up giving you a lot of XP, because there was a lot of mob grinding back then. In comparison, right? Like right now, you just do quests, you do kill a couple mobs, you go turn in your quest, and you're done with that quest. But there were so few quests back then. There were compared to now, it was like there was like one for every 50 quests that there are now. One quest in vanilla for every 50 there are now. I think I'm pretty close. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. So the part of how we level faster now is just questing, because there's just so many. It's endless quests, man. It's cool. Kind of. I would say one thing I was thinking about too, while especially because I played multiple alts right now. I can return the game. I have one character focus that is my main at the moment. But I played a few alts just for the heck of it. And one thing I realized, I was like, you know what? We don't need this many quests. Cut the quests down, right? The amount of quests, cut the amount of quests down, and just give more XP per quest, right? Maybe even more XP per mob that we kill. I know that I know that the idea originally of adding so many quests was because there was nothing to do in a way, right? Like you didn't have objectives, right? But they added too many. There's way too many right now. The stories are great though, and I don't mean the little itty bitty ones. Some of them are cool, but just the big overall campaign stories are really. But yeah, just too many quests, man. Yeah, way too many. Like damn, like come on, man. Let's have like a little bit of exploration and like something, man. I don't, it's kind of funny. But no, I appreciated that, especially like the Burning Crusade was when they first did it. I think it was even like halfway through it. But because even in the Burning Crusade, they added more quests that weren't there at the start. I'm pretty sure they had added like not a lot like they did over the years after that, but I'm pretty sure they had added more quests that weren't there at the start of TBC by the end of TBC. I could be wrong, but I think so. Anyways, there was a lot of quests in TBC, like a lot. Yeah, and it was because of like the kind of it wasn't barren, like you were running through this huge world and it wasn't empty exactly, but you didn't really engage much story wise, right? And in between the huge gap between quests and running across the world. But that was cool though. Like that was cool. It was a very cool experience. But more quests is nice. Right now they have too many. It's like damn. Whoa, man. they have more quests in this game than Destiny has bounties, man. Like by like 100 times more than that. So if you've ever played Destiny, you know what it's like grinding those bounties. That's what World of Warcraft quests are now. Like, did I just World of Warcraft? What did I say? All right, well, whatever, man. No, there's just, and it's it's funny. I'm poking fun because I like it. I know, I remember what it was like. I remember that when they added more quests and this happened in TBC, I was like, wow, this is epic. Just now, it's like it's too much. Calm down. Anyways, what else was I thinking? I level. Oh, I would like to see some matchmaking, item level matchmaking for dungeons. I think that might help with some of the carries, the unintentional carries, because it can be really boring. I've thought about that in my previous video. It can be really boring even when I'm the one, because I have done it, not as much as I get carried. Not unintentionally carried when somebody. You're doing these dungeons and somebody's just so freaking powerful and powerful gear. You don't get to do anything. It's like, what the heck? It's weird, man, because it even happens in the lower level like mythics, and I think that even goes up to like at least level 8. I haven't done it in Dragonflight yet, like that high level yet. I started getting into it, and anyways, but I think it'd be cool. Specifically, and this is even before mythics, right? Because mythics, you don't even have, like, the game is not queuing you in. It's a public lobby system where people can actually, here, I'll show you. Damn it. All right, let me switch characters and I'll show you. What else was I thinking about? Oh yeah, the matchmaking thing. Okay, so I'm specifically thinking about lower levels and doing the regular dungeons and even the random heroics, right? And the reason I think of that is because the gear gap difference between people doing these dungeons is always huge. And then they have the level scaling thing when you're like a high level and you're with a low level character, and somehow, what in the heck? Okay. It's just really weird. Their level, like, syncing thing. I think it ruins the game. I do. I think it's also cool. I think the concept is good, but what they do is they use it to force more grinding. That's what they do. It sucks when you be raiding and then like the item level changes in one update, right? And then all of a sudden you feel like you're level 1 again. That's stupid. It's stupid. You should never go from level 60 to a patch and think you're level 1 again, and the enemies are like way harder again. Like it's so idiotic. It's so freaking idiotic. Anyways, so what'll happen in a lot of the dungeons, the regular ones, and this is it's a group experience, and some people might be like, nobody cares about doing those. Yeah, we do care. There are plenty of people that care about doing those dungeons and want to have fun in them, but they can't have fun in them because some one player is going in there and one-shotting everything in the dungeon. Two-shotting bosses. I'm barely exaggerating. Barely. Seriously. So anyways, I can have the game load faster, but I currently have it on an external hard drive instead of my internal one. That's why that's taking forever to load. All right. Anyways, so the mythic dungeon, you have to do a manual search for pre-made dungeon groups. The dungeon finder can get you regular dungeons and the heroic dungeons, whatever. These are very basic, but they'll throw out, like, if you want to do dungeons in lower levels, this is something you could pick as well. You can do random dungeons, and I have no doubt it would probably cause some issues with queue times especially because you already have issues with queue times when DPS outnumber tanks and healers 1,000 to 1. You're like probably even 10,000 to 1, right? I just think it would make it a better experience generally if they could somehow get like an eye level matchmaking for the random dungeon, so that you don't have somebody with a super, like, just a huge gap in power level, so that the players that want to play these dungeons can actually play them, even when it is still AoE spam. It's still, it's crazy. The game is already so mindless that you just AoE spam, and then on top of that, you got one person and they're just one-shotting everything. It's like, well, okay. When do I get to play the game? Is there, what happened to this game, man? No, it's horrible. You know, whatever, man. It's funny. It's terrible. It really is terrible. I hate it. Oh, I hate the AoE spam. Okay. I wanted to show you real. Oh, I forgot. I didn't even show you. Okay, so I came to the tab. So when you want to find a mythic group, you click on the dungeons part under pre-made groups, because you can pick raids, and then when you click on it, you want to switch categories, you just click the back button. You have to click the back button. You can, well, I mean, you can hit escape, but you still have to, yeah, I forgot that it reopens that. Yeah, you still have to click the back if you want categories, whatever. And then yeah, this is almost every time when you get this into this this pre-made dungeon, specifically the dungeon tab, right? Pre-made groups, dungeons, you'll almost never see anything in here that is not a mythic like group starting. They don't do dungeons for anything other than mythics in this specific thing, pretty much. Kind of makes sense. I'm just letting you know. That was it. I don't remember why. I just remember that was something that stood out to me. It's like I thought maybe there'd be like other kind of like just, I don't know. It was weird. Whatever. It does. It's not. It does make sense to me that it's gonna be all mythic groups. And then they'll see the number here is the number of the keys. So I'm currently trying to do like 2 to 5. I haven't done any 5s yet. I've done 1 4. Not I think I'm pretty sure I'd be fine in 5s, but like I don't know 100%, and I'd still rather gear more. So I've been doing some 2s and stuff. I've passed a couple pieces of loot because they were side grades. Don't you hate side grades? Oh my gosh, I hate side grades. Oh, side grades are the worst. Anyways, I have not done a whole lot of mythics yet. It takes a long time to sit here and just wait and look for the key numbers that you're looking for. I could start my own groups. I haven't tried to do that really yet. I haven't tried to use my own key yet. Anyways, it's pretty simple. I do like the group finder thing. Very cool. So the pre-made group specifically is different from these two because the pre-made groups is what players make these. When you click on these categories, you can either start a group or find a group. So you click the category and then you can start it, whatever, right? And then these ones, Dungeon Finder, Raid Finder, is the game puts you together with people when you queue up. So that's cool. I didn't mean to go explaining that or anything, and I don't know who I'm talking to at the moment. That was my bad. I get into when I talk about the game, man. I can go into anything because I got years worth of thoughts, you know, like related to the game. Oh, so another thing. A few of the things I have loved every time I came back to this game, and I would see like one of the new mechanics they did, I'd be like, holy crap, that's amazing. One of my favorite things ever, my most favorite thing that I have ever seen in this game ever is the class hall. The class hall, man. I wonder, I could probably log, I'm curious which character I could log into and show you the actual class hall. It's been a while since I played my Alliance characters. I returned the game recently, and I've been playing Horde. I actually even started a new one of these. I had a level 70 that I hadn't really played. Of the new class. What are they called? Evoker. I was thinking Dragon something. I did have a level 70 Alliance one. And for some reason, you can't create more than one on the same server. Stupid. So I just deleted my other one and started a new one on Horde. Anyways, yeah, I haven't played my Alliance characters in quite a while, and this was a newer account. Anyways, so I'm pretty sure I've every one of my classes has their class hall, because it takes you don't open the class hall right away. Like, there's some questing that takes you into it. But it's amazing. Oh, I love the class hall, and I want more. Same thing happened with like well, kind of not exactly the same, but the garrison. I really like the garrison. I don't know why they don't have you have a garrison ever since the garrison was added to the game. Why not keep it like per expansion, right? Like how come you didn't have a garrison like come with you? Maybe it's too much. I don't know, but wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be cool. I like the garrison. I thought the garrison was really neat. I also really like the other mission table type stuff in Class Hall Hazard as well. Dude, the Class Hall is incredible. It's one of the coolest things I have ever seen. I had seen complaints a little bit because I only heard it briefly. Apparently people were complaining about the Class Hall, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is the most incredible thing I've seen in the game since it came out. And still, it's still my favorite thing. My most favorite thing in this game is the Class Hall. I think that was Legion. I freaking love Legion. Legion was cool, man. They had so much cool stuff going on. Anyways, so each class had their own zone, kind of. And that zone, all the players that could be in there had to be your class. They were all, like, if you were the priest class hall, was all priest players. And I think that was something people complained about because they were like, oh, we don't get to talk to other people. Like, you just leave your class hall, stupid. Like, you know. Anyways, I love the class hall. It's freaking epic. Not only that, it had this long ass story involved and related, right? Just cool, man. All these missions related to it. And then every single class got their own special unique mount. Although the warlock was the most disappointing to me because it was the same as the freaking like quest. I was like, what? They got the same damn freaking mount that they already had. I think it's like a tiny bit upgraded. I forget, but it's the same mount, dude. I was like, what? Which is fine because it's a cool mount. But I was like, what? The only one that didn't get a special, I think I might be remembering it wrong. Possible I'm remembering it wrong, but because I was pretty sure I could be remembering it wrong though. I could be, so that's my bad if I am. It might be the only one I didn't get the mount on. Let me see. I'm actually curious now. I'll log in and just see whatever. What was making me think of that? Oh yeah, just the class halls in general, because the mount, every class got their own mount. They got their own zone with like this long ass quest related to it, and I'm pretty sure the weapons were related to that as well. I think they were like, right now it's weird. You skip everything now. Like even the artifact weapon, they just hand it to you, and I'm like, oh, what? That surprised me. I was like, wait, what? Now you just get like what? You just go talk to the NPC and you just pick it up because it just be this like huge ass quest involved before you can even like get that unlocked and stuff. And anyways, no, class hall stuff was really cool. Love the class hall stuff. So that was another thing. I'm like, how come we don't have like an upgraded version of that? Like, why isn't that ever since that was introduced to the game? Why doesn't it continue? Like, why did you only have it for that expansion? That is incredible content, man. Like, like what the hell? All right. So, what was I? Oh yeah, mounts, right? Mounts. So, oh, I hate this crap. Is it? I might not have gotten the again. It, this started happening recently. I didn't used to do this. I don't know if it's because I recently like installed more games or something. But I started taking forever to load, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to put this back on my internal. Which is fine. I have a lot of games installed right now. I have like no free space. I'm just, even with like what do I have? Like 5 terabytes? Yeah, I think I have maybe 4 terabytes. That's why I get that much space though, man. Because I'm like, I want all these games installed so I can play it when I want to play it. I don't want to have to install. I don't want to spend a freaking hour installing this crap. Like when I want to play it, like I want it installed already. This was the original one, I'm pretty sure, and then I think there is an upgraded one. Oh no, actually no, the original one didn't have these spiky things on it. It was like it had the fiery hooves and the mane, but that was it. It didn't have like the armor. I think I might still have that. And I don't want to look through all this crap. I wonder if it'd be under dread. Cause I don't think I got the class hall one. I forgot. I think the warlock. Well, no, actually, yeah, no, I didn't get on my warrior either, which I'm currently on my horde one, planning to do. I'm going through the Draenor expansion on my new warrior. Yeah. Anyways, class hall was super cool, man. The mounts are pretty cool. So yeah, I wanted to see those continue, like the garrison, an upgraded version of the garrison, upgraded version of the class hall, even maybe the artifact weapons or even the amulet. A lot of people complain about the amulet in what was it? Oh, which I think in TBC. I was confused TBC and the other one didn't do it. BFA. Battle for Azeroth, the amulet thing. I understood some of the complaints, but I actually liked the amulet thing. It was neat. It was neat. That's cool. I think stuff like that is better optional instead of forced. You know, that's what they did with everything in this game. They turned everything into a grind. Like every single thing is a deep grind. Just super grindy, man. Everything. There's nothing optional, really. Really. I mean, BFA, one of my favorites. But I'm trying to. As DBC was my favorite. Wrath of the Lich King was incredible. Oh my gosh, that was incredible. But I love BFA. I loved it. I loved the story. I loved the way that the questing worked out through. Just kind of, that was a smooth ride. BFA, kind of. And my first time through. Anytime, that's why like it makes this game right now makes perfect sense for alts, because everything just skips you through everything and gets you straight to the end game, man. What a terrible experience for a new player, man. And even then they ruined everything about the game to make it fast, though. You know, like the group experience is different too, man. I was looking at my mythics done. I did a few mythics recently, and I was looking at my profile on the army or whatever, and it shows you your mythics, and the times were 13 to 15 minutes for the like 4 or 5 mythics I did. And I was talking about that. I was like, yeah, the dungeons are 10 to 20 minutes now. They used to be hours for one dungeon. It was a real experience. They're not experiences anymore, man. It's just farm. Speed runs. Like, I don't, it's ridiculous, dude. It's so ridiculous. But it is perfect for all. It's give me a sec, I'm gonna have a drink. Yeah, so I haven't played. I logged in recently to my warlock and my priest because they had my gold. Actually, I think my monk did too. These were my main characters. My priest has always been my main since I played this game. It was my very first character that I ever created. Not this one. I had a different account. I wish I still had. But my priest was the first character I ever made. It was a night elf priest. But I've always loved the priest, and holy specifically. I just the play style of holy. But holy feels like why don't I haven't played. I want to try again, but it's just the way the way the game is now. I mean, flavor of the month crap. It's always flavor of the month, man. It's always there's never any real balance between specs. Like one is always the face roll easy mode OP one, like because you can put in all the effort with one build and still be on par with somebody who uses like a single button press, you know. Yeah, and that's pretty much all the classes. Anyways, as far as like specs, different specs to go and stuff like that. So yeah, I noticed this gear update crap, and I skipped it on a couple of my characters. I was like, I know I had like decent gear on a couple of them, and I was like, I don't want your free gear. And also, but I don't. Anyways, why was I saying that? So I was mostly playing Alliance. I switched to Horde when I came back, and man, I had been told, I had seen people talk about it too. Oh yeah, an old buddy had talked about it, I think. But he talked about the stories of Horde, and I had never really gotten into them, so I didn't know what he was talking about. But he was saying how much better the Horde stories were than Alliance. And I had played Horde before, but like in vanilla, which there wasn't a whole lot of story back then. There really wasn't. But so I had heard and seen people talk about how the stories are better, and then this time I was really like been really into it, got deep into the a lot of the story and stuff, and I'm like, oh, you know what, Horde is way better than than Alliance. And what's funny to me, I think like Horde, the stories are all about like unity and family, honor, sacrifice. Is crazy. They're both do sacrifice thing, but I'm never into the sacrifice stuff. But I just generally like there's this like goodness about them, right? Like it's crazy. It's so weird. Because especially because they're vicious. I freaking love it. I'm like, oh hey, they're realistic. Oh my gosh, what do you know? They're realistic. So they're all about honor, but they also know they need to kill somebody. I'm just saying. So, they still gotta kill the bad guy. They still have a real enemy that is killing them, and they have to kill back. Whatever, man. Nope, sorry. Anyways, so yeah, it's all about unity, honor, and family, and then Alliance are like the world police. It's so funny when I think about it. I'm like, because I like a lot of Alliance stories, man. They're good too. I like them. But they compare to me. I'm playing through Horde. I'm like, yeah, they're like the world police, and these guys are like I don't know. I wouldn't you say they're just. It's cool that it's so much about like strength and honor, strength and together. Like it's weird, man. I know Alliance has that too. It's just not the same. It's not the same writing. It's not the same like dialogue and stuff. It's Horde much better when it comes to that stuff. It's very cool. But yeah, no, I mean, a lot of good stuff in Alliance. I'm not like trashing the Alliance. I just think that's funny. I don't remember if there was something else I was gonna log in. Let me check my notes again real quick. I think I didn't expect to say all these things that I did and do this the way I did it, but whatever. So final thought I've already mentioned before. I hate how they've dumbed down the group experience, but the stories are still great. Okay, I think that was something. Yeah, I think I had that note before, and that's why I made that video, because I knew I could rant about that or whatever. Holy crap, this went on a long time. So anyways, yeah, just generally overall the quality of life stuff has been really good. Ever since TBC. There were some things that, like I said, at the very end of TBC, when they started making raid gear available for non-raiders, I was like, well, hold on, no, that's stupid. You have no idea, man. We didn't. Anyways, I'll have to save that for another video, and I could talk about the difference raids and why that bugs me and why it bugged me then. Game's only gotten more casual, more simple, way more mindless. But there are a lot of aspects I still love about it. But yeah, it's funny to me because like it's easy for me to come back to this and kind of just get lost in the mindlessness of it. But I would not recommend this game. It's weird. I want to, but when I think about that, my main complaints, the group experience is terrible. To me, in my opinion, like I think if you want to play like a 3D Diablo, here you go. They turned World of Warcraft into Diablo, and they turned Diablo into World of Warcraft. What a trip, man. What a trip. All right. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.